Full moon, Mr. Burr. You mentioned something about the full moon in last week's podcast and how it causes strange behavior. I worked in an emergency room for 3 to 5 years, and when I started working there, I thought the theory was bullshit. He goes, I now know it to be true. Every month during the week of the full moon, we get a surge of patients. Other than the plethora of fatties that clog our department. He spelled it plethora. We get weirdos. Example, a one-legged schizophrenic man with a suitcase of knives and a butane torch. I don't even know why. Other than the weirdos, though, we have a lot of really sick patients coming. There are more strokes, heart attacks, and other serious health-related issues. I have recently heard a theory on why this is from another healthcare professional. Well, thank God you went in this direction, buddy, because I thought for half a fucking second you were going to put this in my lap. All right, because I have no clue about any of this shit. All right, what do we got here? He goes, I too take a lot of what I hear as fact. All right, the theory is this. Even our blood has its own tide. Jesus Christ. Why don't I read up on science? This is like better than any fucking movie. Just the truth. What do you mean it has its own tide? When it goes out, is that when I get lightheaded? Is that what you're talking about? He goes, this may be minuscule. I love that you're spelling all these words wrong and you fucking work in an emergency room. But the lunar pull on our bloodstream can cause a person with health/heart problems to be at a higher risk for stroke/heart attack. It can also cause behavioral changes because of the change in our bodily function, body function. Whether this is true or not, I cannot deny 3.5 years of dealing with hell every week the full moon appears. Thanks for the free entertainment and the laughs. So that's really interesting. So, like, if that's true, so when there's a full moon, that's like when society's like menstruating. That's our once a month. Like everybody just acts like a fucking maniac. A one-legged schizophrenic with a suitcase full of knives and a butane torch. Jesus Christ, doesn't that sound? That sounds like what the fuck was that movie Mickey Rourke was in that looked like a cartoon, but it wasn't. Jessica Alba had the chaps on, and she was a stripper, but she still looked like you could have her as a girlfriend. And then there was that guy with the yellow head and the red eyes. For some reason, remind me of the guy who played Beretta. Do you know I saw him when I was out here? I saw Robert Blake. That's a hell of a thing, run into a guy who fucking killed somebody. Or did he get off? I don't know. He fucking did it. Jesus Christ. You go into a Spaghetti Freddy's, you go to take a piss, and all of a sudden your girlfriend's shot in the head, and nobody saw anything, and you found her? Come on. Come on, Beretta. For reals. Come on. All right. Wisconsin's A-Rod. Yo, Billy Redface. Love the podcast, and I would love to paint another picture of the A-Rod story. All right. My version is with Ryan Braun. I live in Wisconsin, where Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are basically a gift from God. I am a Chicago Bears fan, so I think they're all cunts. Sorry, I'm really reading worse than usual. All right. Braun, who also got popped for PEDs, had opened 2 restaurants with Aaron Rodgers called the 812 MVP Bar and Grill, since they were both named MVP in their respective sports. And I'm gathering that his number is 8. Is he a baseball player? I don't watch baseball. When the news broke about Braun getting suspended, Wisconsin was enraged. Not so much that he was cheating or being the bad image to kids or whatever. These parents who want to blame others for their kids' lack of luster or athletic skills, but because he lied to Aaron Rodgers. That's fucking awesome. Dude, Wisconsin has some great sports fans, and I love the fact that their fan base owns a part of the team, however the fuck that works, even though none of them are allowed in the board meeting. It's probably just by name only, and someday they'll realize how bad they got fleeced. Anyways, in the past month or so, when it came to the news reporting this story, local NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS affiliates, within 10 seconds into the story, they talk about lying to Aaron Rodgers. When interviewing fans about it, all they talk about is, I can't believe he would lie to us and even lie to Aaron, like everyone knows each other on a personal level. People need to quit taking professional sports too seriously and taking it personally, especially when they are multimillionaires lying to other multimillionaires. Google search some of this to get a laugh at how brainwashed sports fans of my state are. Come to a show in Milwaukee during the football season to see for yourself. I've been up there. It's fucking great. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. Well, look, I mean, how did he lie to Aaron? They got in business together. You know, it's not like he got on their football team and then he said, well, you know, I'd like you to join the Packers as long as you're steroid free. They opened a business together. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just don't steal from the register. That would be more lying to Aaron Rodgers, right? Or do you think he actually sat down and said, well, listen, I have a great image. You know, last thing I needed to be doing is hitching my wagon to some guy who's then going to be fucking hookers and have somebody stick a needle in his ass. You know what? I've never opened a business, as you can tell. I don't know how the interview process goes, but I don't feel like he lied to Aaron. Maybe they actually came up with this. Maybe this is a good cop, bad cop thing they're doing, where this other guy plays the bad guy, and then Aaron sits at the bar looking all dejected, and the cheeseheads walk by, and then they come in and they buy more fucking mozzarella sticks. You know, that could happen, right? I don't fucking know. Who gives a shit? You know what the fucking thing is? And I'm telling you, I'm pulling a Paul Verzi, and I said this 3 years ago. Within 20 years, everybody's going to be on steroids. Everybody's going to be on HGH, okay? We're all going to be on it. They're going to fucking get it to the same way weed is gradually becoming legal. That's what's going to happen with roids. All right? And now, how also, if you smoke weed now, if you have a vaporizer, you're just basically inhaling just the shit that gets you high. All right? So it's doing way less damage than sitting down, drinking a bunch of Budweisers like I did on that fan boat out in the fucking bayou. They're going to do that with roids. Back in the day, you did some fucking roids, right? Your balls shrunk up, and you went and you punched a horse in the fucking face. That's what happened. And now they're way more mellow. Although fucking Jerry Remy's kids snapped. I don't know. Jesus Christ, that's another fucking Boston story. You know, when all these stories came out, all this shit that's happened recently, I was actually thinking, well, you know, this is the balance. We had such an unbelievable decade, it has to balance it out, you know, with all this horrible shit happening now. And it's like, no, wait a minute. No, it was nothing but horror. So with those championships, that made us even. So now there's some horrible shit coming these last couple of years. So you know what that means? We're going to win some more championships coming up. That's how I look at it. Oh, by the way, any San Francisco 49er fans listening to this? How do you feel about old fucking Kaepernick out there fucking on the cover of every magazine, half naked with his fucking ass in the air, showing off his tattoos and his abs, doing commercials and all that type of shit? You'd think he won the fucking Super Bowl. Have you seen one goddamn commercial with Joe Flacco? Huh? Have you? I haven't. As a football fan, I don't like when that shit happens. I'll tell you right now, once Tom Brady started experimenting with his haircuts and walking around with Uggs, going to fashion shows, I don't know. We haven't won 1 cent. Doesn't that sound like some typical moron shit that you'd hear on sports talk radio? The rent-a-car I had when I was in Boston was tuned to sports talk radio, and I can't fucking listen to it. It's just I put it on, and they were criticizing Big Papi, saying he's a selfish player and all. It's classic Boston fucking morons, sports fans, where it's just inevitable they're going to eat their own. You mean the guy who fucking was one of the main factors in ending that curse? The 86-year curse of the babe, all of that fucking horse shit. That guy should be able to shit in the street for the rest of his fucking life. Not even 10 years later, you're already saying that the guy's selfish. Shame on you, Boston Sports Talk Radio. Shame on you. All right, let's get back to the podcast here. Sorry, guys. So I'm actually predicting you guys might have a little bit of a hangover there in San Francisco. Your coach is putting on weight, right? Filling out those Dockers more and more every week. trying to will his people to win. Actually, I think Kaepernick's going to do great, but I always get nervous with quarterbacks who run around like that. Eventually, those linebackers, they get sick of that shit, and they get an open shot at you, and they next thing you know, you're bleeding into your lung.